So, I like I said in my couple videos ago, I've been out as trans for about 10 years now, and I feel like I'm finally hitting a point where I really want to keep pushing because I've done enough to survive, but I really want to like maximize everything. So I'm looking forward to a lot of it. Um, I've been picking out clothes online, different vibes and stuff. I kind of want to go with like kind of like how do I describe it? I don't know, like a punk goth type stuff and like pastel goth. I think that's really fun. I'm getting a haircut soon. Getting like a shoulder length with bangs because like I haven't cut my hair in years. So I think that'll be cool. Thinking about doing a split where it's like blue and red or purple and green. Um or maybe just like a natural red color or something. But I think that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to getting my angel bites. I'm gonna put little spikes on them so they look like fangs. I've been really thinking about taking estrogen, and that's actually a possibility for me now. Um, where I'm at, Medicaid won't cover it, but I have to pay out of pocket, and it's only like $100, like for a month or two or something. Um, so that's not too bad. I'm excited for that. The one thing that was kind of making me nervous about E is like you get like a, like ED or something like that. But I've learned that you can maintain it, so that doesn't scare me as bad. But I'm so looking forward to doing that. Um, I've been on and off voice training for a while. But I think I want to actually commit to it because like a lot of people told me it would take like months or years for my voice to become like normal and stuff. But like I saw someone say it only took them like a couple weeks, and I was like, oh, okay, that's not that bad. And not to say that the timeline was like scaring me from doing it, but it just felt like so much work. But that sounds cool. And I don't know, like today I'm not looking that feminine, but when I try, I look really good, and that's nice. Um, my one of my childhood friends, I was hanging out with him the other day. He lives in like an hour away, but he was coming visiting his mom, who lives like a couple doors down. And I was talking to them and stuff, and she was like, "Hey, we're selling a truck. It's an old ass manual truck, but we'll sell it to you for $500." And that's really exciting. That saves me a lot of time. That allows me to save up for an apartment, get out of here a lot faster, go hang out with my trans peeps in the other town. So that's nice. On like 2 weeks ago, a week ago, was Trans Day of Visibility, and I went to a gay bar with some people, and it was really cool. I did a speech there. Met a lot of really neat people and stuff. It was a lot of fun. It gave me that drive back to really push forward. So I'm doing good. I did have a day where my dysphoria was so bad I had to call the Trevor hotline, and they were fucking useless. So I just took a clonazepam and took a shower in the dark and went to bed, and I was fine the next day. I forgot to take my medication that day. I take antidepressants and antipsychotics. So, I was kind of tweaking that day. In my therapy, I have a wonderful therapist. She asked me we've been talking about like my dysphoria because it's been so bad recently. I've been working on it a lot, but we're getting to the root of it finally. Because I've experienced it my whole life, and it's been really hard. But I really want to work through it now and not have to deal with this because I've always been avoiding it. Just finding stuff to do or like being around people so I don't have to think about it and stuff. But I want to eliminate that. Or at least understand myself better. And I think that'll be nice. I was at the vape store last Saturday picking up some pods, and there's a game store right next to it that I haven't been to. And so I decided to check it out. And I thought it was just a toy store because on their Facebook when they opened, they just showed a picture of like a wall of like Hot Wheels cars. And I was like, I don't really care. But found out they do Magic there. And that's really nice because I can actually just walk there. So I built a new commander deck. I built Rainbow Dash. And it's really cool. It's like a 5-color flying good stuff deck. It's pretty neat. I'm personally, my favorite is Birds. But I don't play it because it's like Bird Stacks combo type shit that I play. And that's not really fun for other people. But this is kind of cool too. So that's exciting. Didn't work out with the other job I was talking about, so I've been applying to other places. Hopefully one of these places will hire me. And then once I get that, I can buy that truck pretty easily. And then I can just start saving up for an apartment, and that'll be nice. So it shaves off a couple months for me, and I can get out of here. Started watching Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm only a couple episodes in, but it's really good so far. I love mech animes, and this one is so good for me. Like, it's perfect. It's everything I want, So yeah, I don't know, it's really neat. I don't watch much TV or much. I really struggle with anime. I theoretically like anime, but for like years, I mean like a decade, I have tried, and the only animes that I really liked were like Hunter x Hunter. The first season was really good, and then I stopped once they got to the tower. I was like, oh my god, this sucks, And I liked Dead Man Wonderland. That was cool, but I haven't really watched much. It's been chill though. I don't know. How are you all doing? I know most of the people who watch I assume almost everyone's trans. I like on my videos I got like 80% women, 20% men, and I assume everyone's trans. Which is cool. I appreciate that. But like tell me how you're doing. What are you into right now? What's going on with you? I mean just like use the comments to discuss what you're doing. I literally don't care if it's just like, yo, I'm painting right now. I'm chilling. Tell me about that. Tell me about your life. What's going on? How you doing? You know what I mean? Like, I wanna read it. I'll respond. I think it's cool. I've been having to be a lot more thoughtful with how I think. My dysphoria has been so bad that it just creeps up on me anytime I'm not busy. And I've been trying to do better and not worry about it as much because it eats me alive on a daily basis. I used to do a lot of drugs and alcohol to numb the pain from dysphoria, and I did that for years. And then when I got sober, it didn't really hit me because I wasn't focused on that. But now that my life's kind of settled down again, and I've got most of my stuff back on track, it's returned. You know, so it's been rough, but I'm working through it this time. Like, not maybe I want to say for good, but I know I'm going to be dealing with this for the rest of my life. Like, I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, something's like fundamentally wrong. Like, my soul's in the wrong body. And she was like, yeah, I get that. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, if I was born a woman, I would want to transition to being a man. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what I do, I would want to transition. And I kind of recognize that I can't escape this. But there's a beauty to that. This is the journey I was meant to go on. And not thinking about trying to change it or get away from it has helped a lot by just accepting that this is how it goes. So I'm going to try to make it something beautiful, I don't know. It's scary because I used to have so much curiosity and joy and whimsy for the world, and everything feels so gated now, so closed off, but I'm trying to relight that feeling that I had as a kid. Cause like I felt dysphoric as a kid, but it wasn't that bad. Till I hit like puberty. Um but it's not like I'm out of control of it. Like I can do a lot more, than just sit in agony about it. I think a lot about how my life is going to be when I move. I'll get my own apartment, I'll have roommates, I'll have that truck. I can go hang out with people, I can go to events, I can go to the bar. There's a couple gay bars in the town that are pretty cool. There's game stores, all sorts of shopping places. Like it's a full-on city. It's the biggest city around where I'm at, closest wise. There's a fucking, what is that, a yellow jacket? What are you doing, bub? Bro doesn't know there's glass there. I don't care that it's there, but I don't want it like buzzing in the video. Anyways, I was talking to my therapist how like things will be better there, and she's like, well, eventually you're gonna have to go to the grocery store alone. And then how are you gonna fight your dysphoria there? How are you gonna fight your dysphoria while you're doing laundry or the dishes? Like, you can't just distract yourself 24/7. And I was like, damn. But the thing is that like I'll be dressing how I want, around the people I want to be, doing the shit I want to be doing. And so those moments where I'm completely alone are going to be so minimal because I'll be in a world where I can be myself. I wrote in my journal like a couple weeks ago how I want to be a puppy girl because I felt like a werewolf my whole life. And to be a puppy girl is to still be inhuman, but like be connected to humanity still in a weird way. And I think about that a lot. How like I'm choosing to like get rid of the pain, let go. In Fallout New Vegas, they say the hard part's not getting there, the hard part's letting go. And I've that stuck with me ever since I played it. But I'm finally letting go. I'm not so worried. There's this Death Grips quote from Bottomless Pit, the excerpt from Zach Hill's movie, where the lady says, You know, nothing's that serious. Nothing's that serious, is it? And I think about that one a lot too, how life isn't all that serious, you know, and I want to destroy myself physically and mentally and spiritually because my dysphoria is so bad, but I feel like it gives me the power, you know, more than other people to truly express myself. You know, a lot of people just kind of flow through life affected by their circumstances and the things around them, but as trans people, we get the opportunity to create a life for ourselves. In a way, it's such a blessing. But yeah, I want to hear from y'all. You know, I'm not doing this, you know, for the views or anything. It's a lot more of me being able to express myself and work through my thoughts, kind of like a video diary, you know, and it would be really cool to hear from everyone on what's going on with them. You know, how are you dealing with your stuff? How's it going? How long have you been out? You know, I think it's most important not only for yourself, but for other people to see, you know, the different experiences we all go through. Because we have that one thing in common of being trans, but everything else is so different, you know. But that can be really isolating sometimes, which I think is part why I make these videos so that people, you know, can see that there is hope out there. There is other stuff going on. You know what I mean? Because like when I first started transitioning, I wanted to do hormones so bad, but I was like 15, and like I couldn't do it legally where I'm at, and I couldn't afford it. And it's like it's 10 years later, and that's, you know, on the horizon now. Like I just have to go talk to the doctor about it, you know, and you know, that was hard, but I figured out how to make it through, and things are working out for me finally. You know, when I was 18, I moved out with my ex boyfriend, and I lived with him for 5 years. And I dropped everyone I was talking to, lost all my best friends. I had so much set up. I only had like a couple more months of high school left, but I dropped out. You know, I had a car lined up. I was at a job, but I spent all my money on dumb shit. You know, and like I just threw away where everything I had worked up for, and I'm now back here 5 years later, kind of restarting everything. You know, and that can be frustrating, but I recognize that it's not about how far you go, it's about where you started, you know. That's the important part. And it's like I've survived incredible things that were so unbearably difficult, so hellish, and I made it through, and it's still okay. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I've attempted suicide, you know, like 6 times. I was suicidal from the ages of 12, starting at the age of 12. Thought about suicide every day, all day, you know, and I tried to take my life so many different times. But you know, I've committed to living, you know what I mean? I want to die of you know, external circumstances, because we only get one chance at this life, you know. And it's so awesome. You know, we get to experience agony, and we also get to experience joy. And you know, you can't have one without the other. So like I take all of that pain with stride because I know that there's going to be something equally as good. You know what I mean? So like I just don't let anything get to me anymore. It's nothing's that serious. You know what I mean? Like we're just people just doing our stuff, and that's all right. That's enough. I started making music again. I started making smash montages again. You know, and that's been really nice because I haven't been creative, and I figured that was a huge part that I was lacking in, that I wasn't doing stuff. Um, It's been nice. I've only made like a couple snippets of songs. I only have like 2 clips for my combo video. But I've been playing Captain Falcon again. He was my OG main, and I've been getting pretty good with him. I feel like I've only been playing for him a couple days, but I've been getting really good. I've been playing Smash for like 2 years. I competed and stuff. Kind of took a chill pill like a year ago, just because life kind of hit the fan, But I'm back into it again. And it's a lot of fun, But there's a lot of stuff that I could be doing better, but I gotta recognize how good I'm doing now. But I don't know. I think that's about it for this week. So, oh, I also had my second court hearing for disability. It went so fucking bad, dude. Oh my god. There's no way I'm getting it. And then I didn't think I would get it in the first place. But like I'm certain now that it's not gonna happen. I fucked up so bad. So that kind of helps me out a little bit because I'm not pulled in 2 directions anymore. I can just focus on one track. And I like that better. I like to go fast and go hard. Like I just full commit, full send shit. And so I hate the less options I have, the better, because then I can just really focus, and that's awesome for me. So it's good. Another thing is that going out to all those gay bars and trans groups and stuff is that you see a lot of older trans people, like elderly age, and it's so awesome because it's like the age that like trans people die at is like early 30s or something, and it's like so cool to see these like grandmas and grandpas like who have transitioned. It gives me a lot of hope, you know what I mean? Like I never thought that I would get old, period. I thought I would like kill myself before I hit 18. But then I think about being a grandma and I'm like, damn, that sounds wonderful. So yeah, I think that's about it. See you next week. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, do whatever. Dislike if you dislike the video. I don't give a shit. But yeah, I'll see you next time.